as an external visual designer, graphic designer, उनके social media handles करने के लिए, marketing assets बनाने के लिए, that's something that I do. Um, Apart from that, अगर a client has something apart from just designing, for example, if they have content writing needs, I also have an agency. Me and my partner, we run an agency, so scope expands, right? I'm not sure how many of you are aware about freelancing and how much of that is you're aware about. So I would love to know if you can write in the chat box key, what are you expecting from this session? What do you think? Like what brought you here? Even in the exam time that you're here, I would really appreciate like if you can tell me. Thank you so much for coming, first of all. But yeah, if you can drop a text in the text box, letting me know like what are you expecting from the session? How can I help you? It's not just I don't want to keep it just to the presentation कि इतना ही बोला और इतना ही बताया. अगर because less people are there, it's more beneficial for you. मेरा experience अगर उस चीज में होगा, I'll be able to accommodate that within the session. So if you can drop it in the chat box, that would be great. Um, Okay, so my background, I've done mechanical engineering from NIT Hamirpur. I passed out in 2022, but I started freelancing more of designing during my college years because COVID was there. So I had a chance to get deep dive into it. So I've been doing it since then. I started doing internships and then went into doing full-time freelancing, and it has been the case till since then. Right. So I'm a freelancer, visual designer, web designer, agency owner, blah 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 blah. Let's move to the next slide. So I have a question for you. Like, have you ever tried explaining to your rishtadars that you want to do design for a living, or even your parents? Anyone has done tried doing that, and what kind of reactions have you gotten in from them? Like, has there been a case यहाँ पर कोई parents को बताता है कि मुझे design field में जाना है? Okay, I'm a developer first, but design is second most favorite thing. So I'm here to learn more about doing in terms of not as a. Okay, all right. For my thing, I think this has been the case for me whenever I've tried, telling my rishtadars that I do design for, earning my bread. They're like, what do you design? आप कपड़े सिलते हो? I'm like, no, that is fashion designing. They're like, कि फिर क्या करते हो? फिर मैं उन्हें कोई ऐप खोल के दिखाता हूँ, like ये ऐप फेसबुक यूज करते हो ना? बोलते हैं हाँ. Then they're like कि ये डिजाइन किया गया है, ये बटन ऐसे ही क्यों है और ऐसे क्यों नहीं है? या फिर आप कोई ऐड देखते हो टीवी पे या फिर कहीं पे बड़ी मार्केटिंग बोर्डिंग देखते हो, they're like हाँ. Then they're like कि that is something that I do. तो उनको समझाने में बहुत टाइम लग जाता है, and that's very natural because it's something that's not from their generation, right? It's pretty recent for us. हम लोग Nokia 3300 से start हुए थे, and today we are at iPhone, I think 16, 15, something like that. I just went through the Apple Intelligence का WWDC का event recently, and some crazy stuff is happening in AI field and technology field particularly. Okay, Sejal, if I'm pronouncing is right. I'm here because I believe the continuous learning and growth. I'm motivated by chance to constantly challenge myself and improve my skills. That's pretty great, Sejal. I think I have something for you, someone like you, by the end of this slide. Something really great that will help you out. Right. So this is something that technology is moving fast. Design career is something very new to at least India. West may product design, you have designing की importance came very early. There are some really veteran designers in the West. US में देख लो, Europe में देख लो. India में it's like it's not not valued as much right now. People just think एक designer को hire कर लिया, so he can do coding as well, HTML, CSS as well. He can do Photoshop, he can do video editing, he can do whatever the fuck they want. They want from us. But categorization of a designer, what is a UI UX designer, what is the importance and market value kya hai? So I want you guys to go through this interaction, this conversation I want to have. I want to tell you that when you go out into the market as a designer, if you choose to go into design, what is the scope of you going out there, and whether you should go for a job, and what are the benefits of taking a job, and if you are not, then what are the benefits and losses of taking freelancing as a designer, because both of them have their pros and cons, right? Right. So yeah, as I said, just because someone else is not understanding what design is and what you want to do in the design field or whatever field for that sake, because right now the playground is wide open for you guys. And even if your friends don't understand, it's perfectly fine. I don't think nobody in my class of 104 people might be doing design, first of all, and second of all, might be doing freelancing in the first place. So I am one of those 104 people, and I'm doing pretty fine. I think I might be doing better than them in every aspect of my life. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to do. I have the freedom to do from wherever I want to do. Um, I have the freedom to choose when I want to work. So all of these things, everything has its cost and losses, right? So risk and rewards comes in place. So if you think I know if you have come to this session, you might be learning something new. But अगर आपको पता भी है कोई चीज इस session से पहले, this would be a great addition to your maybe confidence, to your risk analysis as to what you want to do and why you want to do it, right? Okay, but it's all subjected to market. वो फाइनेंशियली कोई किसने ऐड देखी है, like it's all subjected to market is please take financial schemes carefully, right? It's something like that. Whatever field you choose, whether you want to go for jobs or you want to go for freelancing, each have their risks and rewards, each have their benefits, each have their cost. It might cost you in terms of your time, in terms of your career growth, in terms of your financial needs, in terms of your family needs. It can be anything, right? कुछ लोग काम करते हैं बिकॉज उनकी फैमिली की नीड होती है, दे आर द सोल अर्नर, राइट? एंड कुछ लोग काम करते हैं बिकॉज दे डोंट हैव, they just want to take risks, they want to experiment with lives. I'm one of those people, right? But just because I did it doesn't mean it's for everyone else. So it's really important that you understand ki when you choose something, you have your research done well. That's where the next slide come in. Always do your own research, right? Whatever I'm going to speak here, whatever I'm going to tell you here, that's going to be an addition to your knowledge and your understanding towards your career or your career choices or your skill development, wherever, if you want to go for a company or you want to open your company in the future, right? But research करने का भी तरीका होता है, right? Most people do this kind of research, right? Where they have, कानों पड़ी बात कहीं से सुन ली या फिर WhatsApp से कुछ पढ़ लिया. They will search the exact same thing on the internet and they'll get the first link because algorithm works like that, right? Internet has become smart. If you search for something, you won't get something that is going to oppose your idea, right? If I search as simple as how is coffee good for me, right? Google will give me the answer that coffee is 10 reasons why drinking coffee is good for you, right? At the same time, if someone else searches, how is coffee bad for me? You'll get 20 reasons why coffee is bad for me, right? So the problem with our generation, with our times, is not the lack of information, it's the lack of appropriate information or misinformation, as I said. So our parents did not have resources to even understand कि क्या fields हो सकती हैं, what can you actually do in your life, right? With our generation, it's like we have everything at our fingertips, right? But we don't know if this information is right or wrong, because first of all, everyone is trying to sell you something. Someone is trying to sell you a course for 500 rupees. They will tell you that you'll become a UI UX designer. Someone is going to sell you a 10-hour MBA course and they will tell you that you will be a business genius. YouTube पे ads आएंगी. Someone will tell you this course, do this course and you'll be the greatest person. Not understanding that ad is going to 1 lakh people, 10 lakh people. They're targeting you because you searched something on the Google. So right now, the more smart decisions you make, the better it is, instead of taking a lot of decisions. So it's really important how you do your research and why you want to do what you want, right? Uh, can you tell me like how many of you are from which college? I would like to know which background. कौन सी फील्ड में आप क्या क्या स्टडी कर रहे हो? If you can write it down on the text box, that will be great. I would like to know that thing. So, as a designer, particularly because this is a design focused event. What is actually out there for you? Let's skim that. These are I did like some Google searches, although I am in the field, understanding what are the major top five kind of design fields that are the most required in the market right now, that have the market needs, and they are paying great. Like there's a demand and supply, right? And what people might be getting into, the trends are getting into, right? So product design is one of them. Graphic designing is always, it's evergreen. Okay, people have said
Yeah.
Kalgotia School of Engineering CSE department. Great. BTech, ECE, JSS, no idea. Perfect, perfect. So everyone is here from a technical background. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Is anyone from a non-technical background? You can tell as well, because design field is something where a psychologist can also come and design and become a designer. So it's that vast. I've seen people, I've met people from no touch in the background from design, and they have just suddenly got into it. I'm one of those examples, right? I did mechanical engineering, which is like the core engineering field, and right now I don't even know what is going on in that field. So like a lot of people, I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn from my juniors. They should I get into mechanical, and I say to them the answer is not so simple. Okay, BCom, PG diploma in web designing, and now coaching of UI UX. I hope you're doing a coaching from a right place. UI UX designer, Abhishek, really great man. If you have some points to add to my conversation, please feel free. You can drop a message, text on this text, right? Okay, so product design is one of them. Graphic designing is one of them. UI and visual design is one of them. UX design is one of them, and motion design is one of them, right? So these are some of the top design fields where you know, you can pick them up. You can learn these skills, and there will be a market need. Unlike unlike a mechanical engineer, right? There's no market demand as such. Moreover, the market is right now going through a depression, I think. A lot of people are getting laid off. Even the people who have been working in Google for 30 years are getting laid off. So, times are tough. It's really important that with the coming up of AI, things are going to get not dark, things are going to change. So, first of all, you can drop the idea that it's it's bad time. It has been the course of history. If you pick any time in history, जब भी कोई बड़ा change आता है, people think they are going to lose everything and कुछ भी नहीं बचेगा, technology will take over. But let me tell you one thing, that you're not the first generation going through it. You're not the only humans who have been through it. If you go into the market and you see that layoffs are happening, people are getting laid off, they're not getting jobs, even people with skills are not getting jobs. It then so causation is not correlation is not equal to causation, right? Just because somebody is not getting a job, it doesn't mean that there are no jobs. There are jobs, there are requirement for skills, but just different skills from what you've been taught till now. Maybe it's time to upgrade yourself, right? So product designers are mostly people who have been in the industry for quite some time, maybe 5 6 years, 3 4 years, because product design is something that includes UI UX design, interaction design, so much more. So product design is an umbrella term. All right. So product design can be a physical product as well as a digital product, right? How you interact with those products is an interaction design, right? There's a complete manual for it from Apple, from Google. I think it's called HCI, Human Computer Interaction, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
from Apple. There's a complete booklet. If you read it, you'll understand how intricate things are. It's not as simple as when you pick up your phone and you click on the button. It's a lot of thought has gone behind it. And when you click on your Mac, if you someone uses Mac, and you click on the button, it takes a lot of time to open the Mac. It takes a lot of time to
Is it just stopped for me or everyone else?
His internet got disconnected.
Oh, shit. No worries, he will be back. Uh, Till then, I just request everyone, bhai log, बहन लोग कैमरा ऑन कर लो प्लीज. We this would be an interactive session. If you just turn on your camera, then it would be very nice to see you all, because like, yeah, Abhishek, nice to see you. Saksham, Sajal, if you can also, everyone else, like if you can also like turn on the cameras, it would be very nice. जो भी background हो, you can just hide it from the Google Meet. He will be back, so don't worry about that. Yeah, he's back, I guess. You are on mute, Ansh. You are on mute. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
audible.
yeah, audible.
I've been working the whole day and पूरे दिन internet नहीं किया अभी तक.
Yeah, it happens, right?
Some things have to
Yes,
happen.
yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I was telling you about like human-computer interaction, how detailed things are. So product design covers a lot of that aspects of interaction with the product. A product can be physical and digital, as I told you. So, like iPhone is a physical product. Somebody there was a team for product design for an iPhone. At the same time, there was a product designer for an app called Notion or Facebook or Instagram, right? So products are not just digital or physical, because this is something that I made a mistake. I used to think that product design is just physical. Nobody told me. It's only when I did a, product design cohort I joined that, and the first question they asked us was, "What is your favorite product? And what is the worst product that you like?" And I told them I hate umbrellas. And it was out of context because they were talking about digital products, right? So understand it's a vast variety. So product design is for mostly seniors, right? Graphic design is something which has a complete spectrum,
Uh,
I would
you are
say.
not sharing your presentation actually.
Oh, sorry. Let me know when it's
Yeah,
visible,
yeah.
right? Okay, should be visible now.
Yes, visible. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Yeah, I was saying digital products and okay, that we have talked about. Graphic design is a complete spectrum. So if you go on LinkedIn, अगर आप search करोगे, so graphic designers from a complete starter to an experienced person, someone who is having experience 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. It's an old field, right? Unlike product design, which is pretty new. A lot of designers who were once graphic designers, who were visual designers, jumped onto product design because it was a market need, and it is a market need right now. A lot of companies are building digital products rather than uh, physical products. Like for example, gaming console market right now is not focused on bringing new consoles. They want to build software products so they can have recurring revenues, right? So Flipkart, Amazon, a lot of digital products, once physical product companies are moving to digital because it's beneficial for them. Subscription model is very useful for them because it's guaranteed revenue for them,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of graphic designers, visual designers shifted to product designers, but at the same time that left a lot of gap in these markets, right? For example, I started as a graphic designer. I tried to get into product design. Somewhere else, I did not like it so much because I've always liked visual things. I love to create visual stuff. So since a lot of designers from this field, graphic design, visual design, turned to becoming a product designer, this was left empty, and there was not a lot of people with such experience as mine. So I get the benefit of that, right? That's how market works. If there's a gap, there will always be a demand for these things. If there will be a gap, there would be someone to fill that up, right? So UI and visual design is a more detailed version of graphic design. UI design can be an app design. and UI UX design can be a part of product design. So somewhere or the else ये चीजें मिक्स हो जाती हैं. So मार्केट में बहुत मतलब आपको बहुत कम लोग मिलेंगे जो इसके बीच में डिफरेंस बता पाएंगे. So think about it very wisely, research your own thing, understand की चीजें क्या होती हैं. Motion design is something, since a lot of people are shifting from just static images to videos and 3D animations. Since Instagram also moved from just making being a photo first platform to a video first platform, motion design and video design and video editing is also an upcoming field. I've not put video design here, video editing here or animation here because that's also part of design, but not a core design field, right? Okay, so let's understand the difficulty. If you are at point zero today, and if you want to pick a design field, what would it be for you? Like how difficult, how easy for you it would be for you to pick something. Okay, someone has written, I'm also interested in UI design. Is it compulsory to learn UX? It would help if you learn UX, but UI design is something that also, so UI and UX designers work alongside. You can have these skills within yourself as one person. You can be UI UX designer, but you can be a specific designer, UI designer, and you can work in a different field. For example, product design can be another thing, UI design, UX design. You can be a master in one of these, but it's always beneficial to know more of these, right? I'm a fresher, I need experience in the market. So what should I do for that? We'll come to that, Abhishek. Uh, okay, I love this basics of UX. I won't open this link right now, but great. As much study as you can do it. Okay, so product design level का mastery करना is like you have to put in years into becoming a product designer, right? Product designers की भी एक hierarchy होती है. Product designer one, if you go on jobs, LinkedIn, search for it, product design jobs, there will be product design 1, 2, 3, product designer 1, product designer 2, product designer 3. What does it mean? It's the level of expertise you have or level of seniority you have. But even for a product designer one, you need to have at least 3, 4 years of experience working in the field, right? So product designer banna is like a far-fetched thing, but if you're interested, you can start out as a UX designer, UI designer, and transition into a product designer. Okay. Graphic design is the easiest. That's why it's flooded with everyone. Like if you make a creative, you make a design, you can people just stick it in their bio. I'm a graphic designer. It's not that. It doesn't work like that. But it has the minimum barrier to entry kind of thing. As a first year CSC student, what should be the roadmap to follow? To follow what? Saksham, can give me a detailed question. Okay, visual designer and UX design, UI UX design is somewhat of a moderate field. You can start out from an internship because a lot and lots of internships are happening right now. If you go on LinkedIn, आप search करोगे UI UX internship, apprenticeships, internships, they are happening all the time right now. So you can apply there. But a prerequisite, because I've kept it at moderate kind of difficulty kind of level, because you need to have some level of projects done. It's not that difficult to do those projects, but a lot of people are too lazy to do it, and they just go with their resume that I want a job. So it's not 1980s. Even if you're not from a good college, you can be a good designer. Even if you have not done a college, you can be a good designer. A lot of people who so the traditional way of education institutes and whatever you are going through right now, they won't matter in coming time. A lot of people, a lot of companies are just looking for skills, right? I have not done any official, any standard way of being like design education, but still I do design, right? Nobody asks from me कि आपने कौन से कॉलेज से किया है फिर कौन सी डिग्री की. Nobody asks it, but you need to practice your skill. That's what matters the most. So UI UX design is something which is somewhat of a moderate difficulty skill, but if you are into it, there are a lot of opportunities. It's open ground, right? Okay. So motion design, it's pretty difficult. But again, it's not something, if you don't have passion for it, आपको job नहीं मिलेगी. Again, it's a vast field, but you need to have projects in your portfolio. We'll talk about portfolio after this. Okay. Canva made it so easy, as well as with templates requires so less of design sense, right? So a lot of tools are coming up, AI tools, design tools that have made things a lot easier for a lot of people. But understand that if you are in the top 1% of or top 10% of designers in any community or any field, right? These tools, AI tools or tools that make things easier for you are not going to take away your jobs. They are going to make things easier for you particularly, because आपके पास वो स्किल सेट है जो एक क्लाइंट के पास कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है, एक एम्प्लॉय के पास कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है, राइट? एक एम्प्लॉयर आएगा आपके पास and he will see कि you have done something in your field. If you are a graphic designer, you have made graphics, you have worked with these companies, you have done this and that. They might use these tools for makeshift for some time, but definitely it's not something they can stick to for a very long time. So whatever you practice it in a way that you can present yourself with confidence out there. So you talk to a company employer who आपको placement के लिए आता है, फिर आप company से बात करते हो. It's not like they cannot do it. It's like they don't have time for doing it. They have a lot of other things to focus on, right? So they want someone of an expert to use these tools to make their work easier, right? A very low budget company or company that doesn't have a budget might, कभी किसी से सुना है कि कोई CEO बैठ के डिजाइन कर रहा है, right? That never happens. Like a founder will never sit and design. They will hire someone who will do it for them, right? They don't care about money. So when you have reached to that level of expertise, when you are a CEO or a founder, you don't care about money as much. You care about time. You'll understand this more when you get into the field, right? You'll start working. Time is always more valuable than money, even for you, when you become a professional. Okay. As a first year student, should be roadmap to follow to dive into the world of design. Okay, we'll come to that. What about learning UI visual design for the sole purpose of freelance, not as a full-time career for a student? We'll come to that. I think बहुत सारे questions मैं इधर रहने दूंगा. I'll answer them because वो detailed है after the session, because बहुत सारी चीजों का answer आपको शायद मिल जाएगा तब तक, और नहीं मिलेगा तो I'll love to have one-on-one conversation, right? Okay, I've explained this thing. Let's come to the most important thing, और जिसके लिए लोग college choose करते हैं, salary, or what we call CTC, right? I get a lot of messages from my college, or people who want to get into college. Since I'm an NIT alumni, so I get people who are preparing for JE, right? And they ask me कि भैया कि हमें इस कॉलेज में जाना है, ये बेटर रहेगा, ये बेटर रहेगा. I ask them this first question कि what is your criteria? What is your what is something that you give the most importance to? Like for me, someone like me, when I have to choose a college, I have to spend 4 years of my life there, right? Placement would be definitely one part of it, but there are other aspects. What is the culture like? What is the placement cell like? What is like the co-curricular activities like? What are the professors like? What is an environment like? So it is a complete holistic structure that you have to put in place when you're picking a college, and not just salary packages. I know most people would this might disagree with me, but hear me out. There are a lot of things that go into play when you are choosing a college, and you should think about those things, right? Because they define your life. Just because you went into a college with good placement might not guarantee that you might get a good alumni network. It might not guarantee you that you might get a good roommate, or people who might have that kind of mindset of entrepreneurship, right? So वहाँ का crowd कैसा है? That also matters a lot. There are a lot of questions to ask. So I know you are in college now. It doesn't matter to you, because all that matters to you right now is like अच्छी placement हो जाए, which is perfectly fine. So product designer starts from 10 to 15 lakhs starting range. I've seen designers go to 50 lakhs, and like sky's the limit kind of thing, right? Graphic design, since a lot of people are there, the average package is pretty low. I've seen people doing graphic design job for 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs even. But I've given a very, humble margin, 4 to 6 lakhs per annum. UI and visual design, since it's a more specific field, uh, the range goes up. And why I've kept it 6 to 10 lakhs is because when you become an expert in something, your value increases. So there is a thing called a T. I'm not remembering the exact term, a T mark or a straight line, right? If you are if you are like jack of all trades, you know different skills on a line, right? So it's represented by a line. You might know graphic designing, you might know visual design, you might know product design, UI UX design. So you are a jack of all trades. You are on a line, right? You are a generalist person, right? But if you choose a particular trait, for example, design के अंदर you went into graphic design, right? Graphic design के अंदर you chose a particular visual design kind of thing, or you just design mobile screens, you just design computer screens, or you just design graphics for marketing. Very specific, niche down. I don't know if you've heard this word, niche, right? You pick your niche. So visual design is a niche for a graphic design maybe. So when you pick a niche, your value increases because you're just serving that audience. For example, Apple is particularly targeting just one audience कि हमें वही लोग लेते हैं जो 80,000 रुपये खर्चने के लिए तैयार है, या फिर 1 लाख फॉर अ फोन खर्चने के लिए तैयार है. They don't care if Redmi is making a copy of their phone, right? Have you heard ki, you must have seen a lot of companies make copy of Apple's AirPods or iPhones, but you've not seen Apple fighting them. You know why? One of the major reasons is the people who will be buying a Redmi phone, or people who will be buying a cheap copy of AirPods, are not the people who Apple is targeting. So they don't have to worry about it. That is really like amazing because a company like Apple might sue a company like I'm a Samsung fan. They diss Samsung a lot. Recent video is really great. The iPad, iPad whole scenario. I don't know how many of you are aware of it, but yeah. But with time, Apple also had to guys inside. So Apple with time had to change its strategy and come into the play of market where they have a range of phones now. Their phones start from iPhone SE that is 40,000 around, and they go to 1.5 lakhs. So they increased their you know area of concern, what I might say. So a company might use this strategy to increase their revenue because iPhone's revenue was going down. It was not selling as much, so they had to target a different market. So they started targeting more and more people. So it has gone up. India में कितना craze था, so they set up a market here, right? So you might see कि हर एक दूसरे इंसान के पास आजकल iPhone है. So it's not as much of a social symbol anymore. People might use it, but it's not. It has lost its meaning somehow because iPhone is a regular thing these days, right? Okay, so as I was saying, niche down is really important. And when you niche in a design field, you become an expert, and you can ask people to pay you more. Okay, let's move. Okay, let's come to freelancing. I don't know. A lot of people were asking about freelance. What about learning UI visual design for sole purpose of freelancing? Okay, since I've given these numbers here for the jobs, these are for jobs, right? If you go out in the market, if you go into an interview, and they might ask you कि कितना CT से expect कर रहे हो? You can give these numbers, and it won't be unreasonable. What might be unreasonable is if you're going for a graphic design, job, and you might ask for 10 lakhs. They'll be like, no, starters को तो कभी नहीं देंगे. But with freelancing, sky is the limit. You know why? One of the major reasons why it is you are your own person. You are putting your brand into the market, and you are the brand. So you can be Apple, you can be Samsung, and you can be Xiaomi. So when you pick a skill, and you might not have to be an expert into it, be it how many companies you have worked with, how much experience you have. It's all about how you sell yourself or how you sell your skills, right? Let me give you an example. I got one of my first gigs as a freelancer for a logo design, and believe me, I accepted that gig, but I did not know a word about Illustrator. I did not know a single letter about Illustrator. Uh, and so I took that skill. I took that gig. I said I'll make a logo for you. And within a week, within a week of like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days, I got expert in 80% of Illustrator. I know it might be sounding crazy. There's a there's a particular chart for it. I'll come to it actually. I'll come to it later on. But it's all about how much confidence you have or how much confidence the client has in you and how much deliverables you can give to them. Right? No one has no one to limit your creativity. Yeah, client will always be there to use it. Yeah. So right, freelancing is something that has its own risks and rewards. I've written it particularly key. Terms and conditions apply. Comes with risk and reward. Is you might completely fail in freelancing and you might fly with like colors, and within 2 years your growth will be 800%, which is impossible in a job market, right? You might get 10% increment per year or 20% increment per year. But for example, I have grown with tremendous percentage over the years because I felt like the freedom is good for me and I wanted to spend time in it. So freelancing is a very tricky business. I would love to answer your questions about freelancing after this session, but just I've left it here that if you choose freelancing, it requires a lot of research from your end. It requires you to lose your laziness. It requires you to cut loose the trap of waiting for the salary. It requires you to basically escape the metrics kind of thing. But what about people who just started freelance with clients will obviously go for well-established freelancers. But this can be said about any field, right? It's
Yeah.
not about this only. अगर आप मार्केट में जा रहे हो एंड वहां पर 5-6 किराने स्टोर्स हैं, राइट? जस्ट बिकॉज वहां पर 5-6 किराने स्टोर्स डजंट मीन यू कैन नॉट ओपन योर ओन, राइट? Just because an Apple and Samsung exist in this world doesn't mean a company like nothing cannot exist, right? Nothing is a company that started like 3-4 years ago, right? They've made a good mark in India at least. They've captured a good market and they're making some really great phones. So it doesn't matter कि कितना competition है. It matters how you stand out in that competition. That's where brand identity comes into place. That's where branding comes into place, right? How you push yourself out there. Uh, and it's not necessary कि established freelancers ही market rule करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं. There are a lot of clients who might want a work done for cheaper with good quality. You might start with that, right? You might pitch to the client key, I'll do this job for you. If this higher client is charging $1,000, I'll do it for $500 and I'll provide similar quality to you. वो client पागल है क्या उसके पास जाएगा? Like, but you have to prove your metal, right? You have to prove कि आपका काम उस level का है. आप वो काम करके दो उनको. How do you build your brand in the first place to attract clients? I think Ajit, this can be a good session, another
Yeah.
session for branding. I would love to take on. Okay. And rocking in the market. How did you get your first client? We'll come to this. Okay. How do you get started? Okay. I think a lot of people might be going through this thing that LinkedIn has grown tremendously from like 37 million in 2009 or even 675 million in 2020
Your
जब COVID आया था to
your
822
voice
million.
actually just broke in the middle and
Yeah.
just Yeah, it's
It's
fine
fine
now.
now?
Yeah, you can like repeat this slide.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sure. So I was saying a lot of people might have gone through this phase where a lot of people I've seen talking कि हम job के लिए apply करते हैं LinkedIn पे, it's already filled, or people don't reach out to us, or they go blank, right? Understand that the number of people on LinkedIn or these social media markets, particularly LinkedIn, has grown tremendously. 2021 में COVID के time पे it was 675 million. It's 822 million in 2022. It has already crossed 1 billion by recent data, right? So the competition in the market is growing because a lot of people are getting internet, they're getting knowledge, they're getting to understand how this market works. I randomly just searched on LinkedIn a creative designer for 3 to 7 years, and this guy had posted it for 3 years, 3 days ago. 3 दिन पहले डाली थी job, and over 100 applicants. Now, over 100 applicants can be 500 people, 700 people, innumerable people, right? Understand this could not have happened in an offline market, right? जहाँ पर आपको in person interview देना जाना पड़े. 700 लोग एक बिल्डिंग में आना, it's like impossible for an interview, but it's happening now. So things are changing, trends are changing. You've got to change with that, right? So this is where it's really important that you change your style, you change your way of reaching out to the people, reaching out to the companies, and how you give those interviews. Okay. And of course, when you are a designer, you have to go through all of these things. You have to update the clients you might be working with. You have to learn coding because that's the new normal. You have to update your portfolio, and designing for free, there's always those people. So unlike any other field, designer comes might work at the center junction of a lot of business aspects. You have to work with product designers as a designer. You have to work with the business. You have to meet business needs. You have to meet clients' needs. You have to meet stakeholders' needs. जैसे company किस direction में जा रही है. So as a designer, a lot of responsibility might come onto you. So you need to understand what coding is, even if you don't work on code, but you need to understand because you might be working with someone who is doing code, right? So जहाँ पर मैंने बताया कि एक प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनर को एक यूआई यूएक्स डिजाइनर के साथ काम करना पड़ता है, यूआई एक ग्राफिक डिजाइनर के साथ काम करना पड़ता है, एक बिजनेस पर्सन के साथ काम करना पड़ता है. It's like a mess, complete mess. That's why they are paid more, right? The more difficult the job is, the more you get paid. It's a simple rule. Okay. And coming to one of the questions, if you want to get started, just get started with a portfolio. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be someone who reinvents the wheel. You don't have to be someone who, just makes it to the top 1%, cutting edge. Just leave it. Just make a portfolio. It can be on Notion. It can be your own website. Just don't go for docs if you're a designer. That doesn't reflect good on your part. Okay. It can be Wix website, drag and drop. It can be a coded website, as professional as you want to be. But just have a portfolio. Okay. When you have a portfolio, Bhumika, you can land your first client because you'll have something to show. And a lot of nonsense in the market is like you have to do projects and stuff. If you go search on Google right now, demo projects or fake projects for designing, आपको एक prompt मिल जाएगा. You can create a demo project for them. You can create demo screens, demo companies. You don't have to work with companies to show your skills, right? You don't have to work with big names to show your metal, prove your metal. आपने एक prompt लिया, design a screen for this particular company in this tier 1 city, right? For product designers particularly. आपने उनके लिए screens बना दी, एक prototype बना दी. How difficult is that? It's very easy, right? Sorry, it's very simple, not easy. Simple and easy are two different things. It's very simple to do. It's just most people don't want to do it, right? Portfolio plus your conversation skills. Bhumika, that is what landed me my first job, my first client. The way you talk to the client and the things supporting you, and your portfolio and your work supporting you. right? You cannot expect that just because you have skills and you don't have conversation skills, you have technical skills and you don't have conversation skills, you'll stand out. Not gonna happen. I can vouch for it. I can tell you this thing. If you have good communication skills, your technical skills might take a backseat for just freelancing services, for just building a brand. You might hire someone and do that work for cheaper, but that's long story, right? Many agency owners do this. They just hire interns, they just give them 1/10 of the total pay of that particular like project, ठीक है? एंड बड़े बड़े ब्रांड्स को वो हायर कर लेते हैं एंड वो इंटर्न्स को हायर करके बोलते हैं कि ये काम कर दो एंड दे गिव इट टू द क्लाइंट एंड दे टेक 90% of the share, which is ridiculous. Like they don't have to move a mouse cursor. It's just management then. You know how they're able to do it? It's just communication, it's just conversation. When you know how to converse with people, you know people's skill, it changes the whole game for you. Right? How I said that how I landed my first logo design gig, it was not based off my work in logo skills, it was based off my communication skills. It's how important that is. Okay, learn to talk, let people know you exist and you'd like an opportunity. If you tell them that you would like an opportunity to work with them, or you would like to have this opportunity to prove your mettle, people want to give you opportunity, right? But you cannot expect कि आपको बस ऐसे हाथ में परोसी हुई थाली दे देगा, right? You have to work for it. What strategies have you found effective in building a strong portfolio? Okay, I'll show you my portfolio after that. For some, when everyone will turn on
Yeah.
their camera, I think this is a good, bait for them. A lot of questions I would love to answer after this presentation. If everyone will turn on the camera, I will answer these questions. Okay. Okay. And a lot of people might say there's a lot of competition, and they're not getting a job. They're not getting an opportunity. They don't know how to get started. Basically, life खराब हो गई. So think about it again. This pie chart, I think you should memorize, you should ingrain in your mind. Look at this pie chart. This is, I think, called Pedro's principle, if I'm not wrong. It means this chart, effort and results, mean if you put 20% of efforts, you get 80% of the results. Okay? What does it mean? This means that I was able to capture 80% of Illustrator within 3 days. Sorry, 80% of Illustrator. Am I saying it wrong? Yeah, I was able to capture like most of the Illustrator enough to give 80% of results. Okay, this 20% here might be, you can leave it for later. Like it's like school में जैसे होता था ना, 80 to 90% पहुंचने के लिए सेम मेहनत लगती है जितनी मेहनत 90 से 91% पहुंचने के लिए लगती है. That is how it works. When you reach in the top tier, top 1%, top 10%, एक percent चलना takes you more and more effort, जो 90% तक पहुंचने में नहीं लगे. Understand this one thing. So even if you're putting 20% of effort, it will bring you 80% of results. And believe me when I say कि most people, even most of you, after this presentation, I can bet on it. This is how sociology works. Are not even putting 10% of effort into things. Even knowing that this will bring them some result. Most people out there are just expecting कि कोई उनको खाना बना के थाली में परोस के दे देगा. Believe me, even if you learn to bring your own thali, खाना बनाने को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. If you learn to hold your own plate, right, that will bring you 80% of results. You don't even have to cook. But you need to be willing to put that 20%. Okay? It's just like the JEE exams or competitive exams. 16 लाख बच्चे एग्जाम देते JEE का, right? Believe me, out of that 16 lakh 15 lakh people just give for the sake of it. They are not even serious about it. I think it's also because the education system ना ऐसे mindset कर देता है जैसे everything should be laid out to them. Yes, very true. You are always like, you know, taught to, it's like spoon feeding. School में क्या होता है? Spoon feeding होती है. College में क्या होता है? See, all of it, the education system is put in place to just make you a mindless slave. You have to understand this one thing. It is out there to just make you smart enough to work for a company and go at home and wait for your next salary. It is by design. It is not by chance. Okay. So even if you're somewhat serious about making some dent into the world or in your life, if you want to achieve something, by achieve I don't mean achieve, you want to make, like, prove yourself that you are something, right? 20% मेहनत भी कर लोगे ना उस चीज के ऊपर, डेली डेली का 10 मिनट भी दे दोगे ना, it will go a long way. I don't remember if this equation is right or not. It was from one of the books that I love a lot. Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. I don't know how many of you might have read it, but this equation of 1.01%, 1.01 raised to 365, and 0.99% raised to 365. You know, जो 1.01 है will take you to 36.5 in decimal, right? And 0.99 will take you to
Yep.
negative. It will decrease your value. So even if you know, take minor steps every day, it can be 0.1%. In 365 days, that will become such big things because compounding works like that. That's the power of compounding in any field in your life, whether it's skill setting, whether it's jobs, whatever. Just work on it patiently. And of course, the motivation. Believe me, it's not that bad. Okay. Times have always been difficult. I've already told you. It's just for your time, you feel that things are difficult. It has been difficult, challenging for each time, each generation. For your parents, it was difficult. For your grandparents, it was difficult. For your grandparents' parents, it was difficult. Okay. Each generation has their own challenges, and things have always been tough. I saw a very interesting video. It was a compilation of newspapers from last 100 years. Okay, one news from was 2022. A news headline read, "People don't want to work anymore." And 1990, people don't want to work anymore. 1950s, people don't want to work anymore. 1900s, people don't want to work anymore. So understand, majority of the population, the fact that you are here, these 10, I think 8, 9 people who are here right now, you took out time of your life, of your, like, precious life, to, you expected something out of this presentation, this conversation, right? This makes a very big difference in your life. I don't know which slide might affect which person here in what way, but maybe in my past, it was one of these conversations I was listening to. I was attending this seminar, right? And something might have struck me, and that's why I'm here. Butterfly effect, pata hai na? I hope you guys know butterfly effect, right? So it means basically कि दुनिया के एक कोने में अगर a small butterfly, flaps its wing, that might cause a tornado in the other end of the world. Compounding works like this. So don't go with this mindset in life or in your career that it's doomed. If you go with that mindset, things are already doomed, man. It won't go better than that. But you need to go with the mindset that whatever challenge might come to you, you'll be able to face it. Then you might be able to face it. Okay? And always remember, adaptation is the biggest key. Your skills are not, your age is not, nothing else but adaptability. You need to be adaptable, you need to be relevant with times. You cannot say, "Can I won't learn AI just because I am fine with my old skills." AI is going to take over, man. And if you don't move with time, you'll be crushed. It's a reality. Okay. So adapt your skills in a way that is in sync with time. For example, AI last year Web3 था, उससे पहले कुछ और था, right? You update yourself, keep updating yourself. There are people who are starting AI companies at 50, 60, 70 years of age, just out of pure passion. They learn, they like to learn. Be a student of life is what I say. Like if you are a student of life ना, आपको जुगाड़ लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ मिल ही जाएगा. हम इंडियंस में तो ये बहुत इंट्रिंसिक होता है, लाइक हमको जुगाड़ करने बड़े अच्छे से आता है. ठीक है. So adaptability is what jugaad is. That's why the whole world is looking at India right now, right? A lot of companies are coming here. We are shining in the world. वहाँ पर लोग बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज यूएस में are like, people in the US are losing jobs and giving jobs to Indians. They are setting up branches in India. They are setting up headquarters in India. The only reason is this, because we know how to adapt. Our education system, how much bad it is, some people have learned to you know escape the matrix kind of things. एजुकेशन सिस्टम से अच्छी चीजें लेके उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ में अडेप्ट की हैं, एंड दे आर मेकिंग द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ दैट. ओके, सो या, दिस इज द एंड ऑफ माय प्रेजेंटेशन. आई होप टाइम के अंदर अंदर सब कुछ हो गया हो, बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट
Yeah,
प्रैक्टिस एनी ऑफ दिस.
that was a great
So yeah,
presentation, Ansh, I
thank
would
you.
say. Yeah, so it's time for a Q&A, but like as we promised, if everyone just turn on their camera, we would love to answer those
Yeah,
questions they have just asked. Just for once, I would
yeah,
say,
yeah.
just for once, turn on your cameras. Abhishek has like turned on his camera many times. Saksham, Sajal, Difansh, Bhumika, and two others. Guys, please एक बार कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए प्लीज. Yeah, that's
Thank you for sticking
webcam.
around, by the way.
Webcam is not
Thank
working.
you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah, I thought we would have a
It's
like
okay. Perfectly fine.
selfie to put on the social media.
That is a great thing. I would love to have that. Sejal, Shivani, Saksham,
Yeah,
Ujjwal, if you guys can.
please off
Bhumi ko
like
bhi
turn on your
करना
camera,
पड़ेगा कुछ ना कुछ
otherwise
करके.
give us an excuse at least.
I hope you guys liked the presentation. Yeah,
Yeah, thumbs up in the chat.
it
Yeah,
was beneficial. Cool.
yeah, okay.
I'm out somewhere. But appreciable, yeah. If you are, don't call me sir, yeah. Just call me Ansh. That's perfectly fine. ये sir वाला time British के time पे था. Don't call me. It's gone far. Yeah, okay. I am open to questions. One at a time, you guys can turn off your mic and ask me a
Yeah,
question, and I'll try to answer in my best capacity. Let's start with Abhishek.
you can turn on
If you have
your
any
mic. You
question,
have the access to turn on.
you'll have access to.
Yeah, Abhishek, yeah. You can at least like share about yourself
Yes,
because this just became an closed event, so we can have your introduction at least.
yeah.
Hi, my name is Abhishek Khatana and I'm second year student, BTech second year student, and I'm interested in UI UX designer.
कहाँ से हो?
सर मेरठ से हो गए.
UP.
मेरठ से. कुछ क्वेश्चन है पर्टिकुलरली पूछना है?
हाँ मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि मैं फ्रेशर हूँ बट काफी टाइम ना एक्सपीरियंस की नीड होती है.
हाँ, अच्छा, यूआई यूएक्स डिजाइन.
जी.
जैसे मैंने बोला, लाइक यू कैन, आपको अगर प्रोजेक्ट किसी कंपनी से नहीं मिल रहा ना, आपको बहुत सारी ऑनलाइन वेबसाइट्स हैं, खुद भी आप किसी कंपनी का ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट, ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग जो उनके मोबाइल स्क्रीन है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप जोमेटो को करते हो, ठीक है, आप जोमेटो में स्क्रॉल करते हो, आप देखते हो कि यार इसमें क्या क्या दिक्कतें हो सकती हैं। नो, आपके पास वो चीज़ आ गई, आप वहाँ से रिसर्च करना स्टार्ट कर सकते हो। यू कैन गैदर पीपल, यू कैन आस्क देम क्वेश्चंस, मेक ए क्वेश्चनियर, आस्क देम क्वेश्चंस कि आपको क्या लगता है कि जोमेटो में कौन सी चीज़ें जो है वो ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक हो सकती है, राइट, बिकॉज नो प्रोडक्ट इज परफेक्ट। आपने वो कर लिया, आपने क्वेश्चन सेलेक्ट कर लिए, आपने लोगों के इंटरव्यू ले लिए, आपने उसके आंसर्स रिकॉर्ड किए, एंड उसके हिसाब से यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग चेंजेस इन दैट ऐप। इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट। यूआई यूएक्स डिजाइन ऐसे काम करता है। यूएक्स मीन यूजर एक्सपीरियंस रिसर्च, राइट, यू स्टार्ट करते हो रिसर्च एंड यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग चेंजेस इन द यूआई, voilà। एंड ऐसे अगर आप 3-4 प्रोजेक्ट्स करोगे और एक पोर्टफोलियो में डाल दोगे, प्रेशर इज लाइक इट्स मोर देन मेक सेंस, राइट। अभी तक के लिए क्या लग रहा था तुम्हें, क्या क्या करना पड़ता है, जो क्वेश्चन आया तुम्हारे दिमाग में, अभी तुमने कुछ लिखा, सर्च किया आपने?
अभी अभी तो मैं ना डिजाइन वगैरह रीडिजाइन करता था, एंड अभी 2 दिन पहले मेरी एक इंटर्नशिप भी लगी है, मतलब एक स्टार्टअप कंपनी में।
कांग्रेचुलेशंस, कांग्रेचुलेशंस, वेरी नाइस।
तो उसमें कर रहा हूँ, बट मुझे ना डर लगता है कि लाइक मेरे से कोई डिफरेंट क्वेश्चन हो जाए, मैं ना उसका मतलब ना कर पाऊँ, तो थोड़ा डर सा रहता है।
यार यूआई यूएक्स डिजाइन तो ऐसी फील्ड है जहाँ पर अपना ओपिनियन तो रखना ही नहीं होता, लाइक अगर कोई तुम्हें क्वेश्चन करता है इस फील्ड में, यू ऑलवेज हैव अ प्रूफ, राइट। तुमने कोई चीज क्वेश्चन की, तुमने किसी ने तुमने क्वेश्चन तुमने पूछता है कि डिजाइन तुमने क्यों किया, नई चीज क्यों की, you have the answer recorded, right? तुमने रिसर्च की, तुमने लोगों से क्वेश्चन पूछे, तभी तुम्हें आंसर मिला कि ये चीज इसलिए करनी चाहिए, राइट। तो कॉन्फिडेंस तुम्हें वहां से आना चाहिए कि तुम्हारी रिसर्च कितनी पक्की है, राइट। तुम्हारा यूजर एक्सपीरियंस रिसर्च जितना बेटर रहेगा, तुम्हारा कॉन्फिडेंस उतना बढ़ेगा, राइट। इट्स नॉट सब्जेक्टिव एट ऑल। इट्स नॉट कि किसी ने बोला कि ये चीज अच्छी नहीं लग रही इसलिए चेंज कर
Yeah,
दो, नहीं कर
right.
सकते, बिकॉज तुम्हारे पास एक प्रूफ है उस चीज का। एक सिंड्रोम तो रहता ही है वैसे। हाँ यार, मतलब
Hmm.
imposter syndrome is like the second name of a designer. It's- हर किसी को रहता है, like, मुझे अभी तक रहता है यार कि लाइक मैंने कहीं से डिजाइन चुराया है। मुझे लगता है मैं आई एम स्टिल लाइक अ पर्सन हु इज लाइक जस्ट गेटिंग बाय। मुझे
but
किसी ने कोई
but
कोई पकड़ लेगा
but
कि तू
like
झूठ कर रहा है, तू कुछ नहीं डिजाइन
इस
तू
बात
कुछ
से
नहीं
मेरे
है।
को एक बात याद आई। I just have this book like Steal Like an Artist. Everyone should have
Uh,
this read
yes,
at least once, because like it just recommend.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, good
Oh,
one, good one. You're
trust me.
getting great. Yeah, I have all the three versions.
Very
You
nice.
have it. Yeah,
किसकी पे है वो बुक?
Good artists
yeah,
copy,
yeah,
great artists,
yeah.
but
Right.
artists, I think that's the quote.
ओ,
So imposter syndrome तो हमेशा रहेगा यार, that's a part of it. I think मुझे लगता है मैं इंजीनियरिंग नहीं की, मैंने कुछ ढंग से नहीं किया, but you have to have the belief that you're putting the time and effort into that. You have to, you know, अब यहाँ पर लाइफ के बाकी एस्पेक्ट्स आ जाते हैं कि तुम अपने आप को देखते हो, योर सेल्फ इमेज कैसी, बट एटलीस्ट व्हेन इट कम्स टू योर स्किल्स, विद टाइम तुम्हारा कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा ही बढ़ेगा, आई कैन गारंटी। आई होप दैट आंसर्स योर
Cool.
क्वेश्चन। गुड, नेक्स्ट,
Serial
Daksh,
left.
since your camera is
या,
on. Yeah.
हाँ, ओके, ठीक है। तो मेनली मुझे यही पूछना था। सो जैसे आप अपना फर्स्ट फ्रीलांस मतलब प्रोजेक्ट जब लेना चाहते हो, तो आपके पास कुछ और नहीं है दिखाने को एक्सेप्ट योर ओन पर्सनल प्रोजेक्ट, या फिर आपका जो आपने जो भी करा है, तो हाउ हाउ डू यू मेक अ पर्सनल ब्रांड ऑफ ऑफ इट जब आपके पास इतना रिलेवेंट एक्सपीरियंस ना हो?
Okay, so for me, I don't know what is the trend right now, but I am seeing a lot of new age designers on LinkedIn at least. The second strategy. First strategy is like I started from internships. So if you don't have personal projects, I'm
इंटरनेट गया।
जस्ट wanna
एयरटेल
ask कौन सा इंटरनेट है?
एयरटेल होगा, लेट्स सी।
Devansh Raj giving steps. Step 1, pick a skill, learn it well, build and do projects, ask for people, build a portfolio. Is it right? Okay. Yeah, hi.
ये चीज मैं
Audible, audible.
Hello.
प्रोग्रामिंग में कर रहा हूँ।
Perfect.
ओ, मैं और
हाँ,
रंजीत ये डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि आपका वाईफाई कौन सा है।
मेरा वाईफाई, अरे मेरा वाईफाई नॉर्मली काम करता है, पता है अभी इसी वक्त
Because it is the time to get bad.
but it's okay. Yeah, it is the time to do that. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason to do that. We lost it. What's it?
Ah,
Yeah. So like you were saying, you know, like internships is a good way to go around. The second best way is start posting on LinkedIn, a platform like LinkedIn, with the skill set that you already have. For example, you वहाँ पर भी prompt ले लिया तुमने कि अगर तुम graphic designer हो, for example, कि I have designed this new uh, marketing asset for Zomato, या फिर I have designed this new banner for Paytm. Let me know how your thoughts. और तुम Paytm को tag कर दो या फिर किसी companies को tag कर दो. So if someone then you know searches on LinkedIn कि graphic design, the more you post, the more algorithm will push your profile.
राइट।
Apart from internships, that is the best way because तुम्हें showcase करना है, showcase जहाँ मर्जी करो. LinkedIn is the best.
I've been doing the similar thing. मतलब me and other organizers, we organize pi-daily like the Python community event. So I designed the social media posters, या फिर any banners or
Great. That's the best way, right? Then you're working with someone, right? That is a good way of putting yourself out. They work with.
that's the one thing I've been trying out for a while.
Huh?
Like that's the one thing I've been trying out for a while.
Yeah. Try internships. Try a lot of companies are open to internships now.
Right.
LinkedIn पे सर्च करोगे तुम्हें बहुत सारी मिल जाएगी. If you want design related internships.
Shivani has a question. Yeah, Shivani, you can unmute yourself and you can ask if what you want to ask.
हेलो भैया।
Hi.
एक्चुअली भैया मुझे इंटर्नशिप के पर्पज से पूछना है, जैसे हम लोग अप्लाई करते हैं इंटर्नशिप के लिए और जो स्किल्स वो लोग हमसे मांगते हैं हम सारी फुलफिल नहीं कर सकते, तो उस इंटर्नशिप के लिए हम अप्लाई कर सकते हैं?
यार इंटर्नशिप ऐसा फेज होता है ना जहाँ पर तुम जितना ग्रास्प कर सकते हो उतना ग्रास्प करो. ठीक है. इंटर्नशिप ऐसा फेज भी होता है जहाँ पर तुम कंफ्यूज हो गए कि मुझे डिजाइनिंग पकड़नी है कि नहीं पकड़नी. I don't know if of course you guys don't know. I started out as a writer. I still write. Like I used to do content writing for a company. And that's where I started doing design as well. वहाँ पर video editing भी करता था. I still do video editing as well. So these are the skills that will enhance your major skill in the future. अगर तुम किसी कंपनी में जा रहे हो जहाँ पर skills required है ये वो learn it. तुम्हारा कोई नुकसान नहीं होगा. Like writing मांग रहे हैं, just
Right.
be jack of all trades. वो line वाला बताया ना मैंने कि उस skills different skill set रखो. इंटर्न से तुम इतना ज़्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशन रख नहीं सकते. कोई भी कंपनी इतनी एक्सपेक्टेशन रखती है कि तुम बहुत ब्रांड न्यू कोई नई चीज कर दोगे, राइट? बट इफ यू आर एन इंटर्न विद मल्टीपल स्किल्स यू विल बी वैल्यूड मोर इंस्टेड ऑफ जस्ट बीइंग अ प्रोफेशनल, राइट? जब तुम फील्ड में उतर जाते हो तब तुम्हारे साथ उल्टा होता है. तो आई डोंट मार्केट माई सेल्फ एज अ राइटर एनी मोर, बट if a client wants me to do writing, I do writing, and it has been good for me. So अभी client के लिए I'm doing video editing for a big brand. तो video editing मेरी पूरी bio में कहीं भी नहीं है. So these are additional skills that will help you a lot. तो अगर कहीं internship है जहाँ पर तुमसे बहुत सारी चीजें मांग रहे हैं, have the attitude of learning those things. जितना ज़्यादा learn करोगे उतना profit होगा फिर future में. आई थिंक ये क्वेश्चन था,
बट
राइट?
इंटर्नशिप के लिए, जैसे इंटर्नशिप के लिए हमें पोर्टफोलियो रेडी करना है, तो हमारा पोर्टफोलियो मतलब उसमें हम कितने प्रोजेक्ट डालने चाहिए एज अ फ्रेशर?
2-3 टू
केस स्टडी बनानी है हमें,
किस
तो
चीज की
बहुत
मतलब?
तरीके से मतलब
हाँ, अगर डिजाइन की है तो 2 or 3 प्रोजेक्ट्स विल बी मोर देन इनफ इफ अ फ्रेशर इज देयर।
जैसे मेरे पास मेरा एक ऐप डिजाइन है, मैंने कॉलेज रिव्यू ऐप पे एक डिजाइन करा है, पूरा ऐप डिजाइन करा है, ऑल फंक्शंस विद वो टाइपोग्राफी वगैरह सब उसमें सर। लेकिन केस केस स्टडी में हमें वो सब ब्रीफ में बताना पड़ेगा, मतलब मुझे पोर्टफोलियो का कोई आइडिया नहीं है इसके लिए।
गो ऑन बिहांस, वहाँ पे सर्च करो यूएक्स केस स्टडी, पर तुम जिस ऐप के लिए कर रहे हो उसी के ऐप की सर्च कर लो, किसी और ने की होगी तो एक बार उसका देखो उसने कैसे प्रेजेंट किया है, उस पे कितने इंटरेक्शंस हैं, उस पे कितने लोगों ने लाइक किया। सो टॉप वाला जो होगा प्रेजेंटेशन, बिहांस इज अ गुड प्लेस फॉर दैट। बिहांस पे सर्च करोगी कि यूएक्स डिजाइन प्रेजेंटेशन, हाउ टू प्रेजेंट इट, और तुम वो अच्छे से करोगी तो यू कैन कॉपी एंड पेस्ट, राइट? यू डोंट हैव टू डू
I
अ लॉट ऑफ
just
थिंकिंग। तुम्हें
want
कोई नहीं
to
बोल रहा
add
कि
in it.
स्क्रैच से स्टार्ट
Yeah, so a lot of like people just when
करो।
while designing their case studies, what they do is कि वो follow करते ट्रेडिशनल मेथड की, वो जो इंटरनेट पे आता है कि पहले आपको ये वायर फ्रेम दिखाने हैं, फिर आपको ये दिखाना है, फिर आपको ये दिखाना है। तो वैसे वैसे मोस्ट ऑफ द बिगिनर्स डू दैट थिंग, तो वो वैसे वैसे करते हैं। बट आई जस्ट लाइक रिकमेंड कि वैसे आप ना करें एंड जस्ट प्रेफर टू like write all the things while you were on the project, कि जैसे आप प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे थे, what were you thinking, what were you searched on that, क्या क्या आपने रिसर्च किया, क्या क्या आपने अगर किसी से मीटिंग करी, कोई यूजर फीडबैक लिया, जस्ट पुट एवरीथिंग टुगेदर। एंड आई थिंक जब केस स्टडी इज एन आर्ट ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटिंग ऑल दोज थिंग टुगेदर, राइट, कि वो कैसे आप दिखा रहे वही एक केस स्टडी है। एंड इट इज नॉट कि आप वो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड फॉलो करके क्या वायर फ्रेम देन देयर बेसिक डिजाइन देन फाइनल डिजाइन देन केस द यूजर स्टोरीज। आई थिंक दैट इज लाइक बीइंग रिजेक्टेड बाय द फर्स्ट बाय द रिक्रूटर, क्योंकि उनको पता चल जाता है कि यार ये तो सभी कर रहे हैं। राइट राइट राइट।
ये फकीर वाली चीज होती है बेसिकली। तो मतलब बेसिकली इट्स लाइक कि तुमने प्रोजेक्ट बनाया उसको अपने तरीके से, गिव इट योर ओन टच। लाइक तुम्हें नहीं पता है तो दिस इज द बेस्ट वे, अगर तुम अपना प्रोजेक्ट एक अपने तरीके से डिजाइन करते हो, राइट? तुम प्रेजेंट जिस तरीके से कर रहे हो, अगेन जब तुम प्रेजेंट कर रहे होगे तो तुम्हारी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल इज वन ऑफ द मेजर थिंग्स दैट विल बी नोटिस्ड अ लॉट।
या
आई थिंक अभिषेक हैड अ क्वेश्चन।
अभिषेक
स्टक। शिवानी, तुम्हारे क्वेश्चन का आंसर मिल गया?
यस सर।
Okay. हाँ अभिषेक, यू हैड अ क्वेश्चन।
सेम क्वेश्चन था केस स्टडी के बारे में।
आंसर मिल गया?
जी जी।
Actually, definitely a lot of good examples. मैंने बोला एक बार बिहान्स पे ट्राई करो, यूएक्स की स्टडी सर्च करोगे ना, सिंपल, वहाँ बहुत अच्छे अच्छे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं। इवन इफ यू सर्च ऑन गूगल, यू केस स्टडीज फॉर फ्रॉम टॉप डिजाइनर्स फ्रॉम टॉप कंपनी, तो वहाँ पर एप्पल के, गूगल के एम्प्लॉइज जो हैं, वो जब हायर हुए थे वो किस केस स्टडी की बेस पे हुए थे, वो नहीं मुझे, इट्स आउट देयर, इट क्या होता है। इवन यूट्यूबर्स, अ लॉट ऑफ यूट्यूबर्स आर देयर, तुम्हें पूरा केस स्टडी बता देंगे इस एम्प्लॉय की, ये केस स्टडी, इस रीजन।
केस स्टडीज बेसिकली क्या आप डिजाइन के बारे में कैसे सोचते हो, लाइक द साइकोलॉजी बिहाइंड योर
Yeah,
डिजाइन?
every the process, as simple as
ओके,
that,
they
as
are
detailed of
asking
a
for
process
your
as it can.
portfolio.
For your okay. So I did my website design pretty recently, and this is my portfolio.
You just did it on
Design like
Framer,
website plus
right?
portfolio. Okay. Um,
Oh, okay. That's a no
yeah,
code
I've
website.
made the website on Framer. Yeah, Framer plus, yeah, Framer plus Contra. So I'm on Contra.
Oh,
Contra is a international freelance platform. So I'm a top independent on Contra. So I work with mostly international clients now.
Okay,
So वो best रहता है
that's
उसके
cool.
मैंने collab करके रखा है. But yeah, everything is made by me. Yeah. Uh, which AI tool can make your work easier as a UX
Um,
designer? I think Ajit
अभी तो
would be
आप
better
एज ए स्टूडेंट
better
काम कर रहे
suited
हैं
for
ना,
this.
या यू जस्ट स्टार्टेड योर इंटर्नशिप राइट अभिषेक, है ना? तो मोस्टली व्हाट आई यूज इज लाइक इट
Yes,
डिपेंड्स ऑन योर वर्क
yes.
एक्चुअली, बिकॉज क्योंकि मैं लैंग्वेज के लिए आई यूज चैट जीपीटी obviously, because whenever you have to like put sample text or like some sample greetings or something like that, you just use the chat gpt to create sample dummy content for that. Or there are like various tools. I have just like I didn't able to remember those, but I have just shared saved them into my workspace. I use them daily, but mostly I use chat gpt because I just everything like you have to do is like design, and the other thing is just you need the content
That's
for it. So mostly I use just chat gpt. And if you need anything, what kind of thing like you are doing, and like किस चीज के लिए आपको चाहिए AI tool, किस चीज से आप स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं?
अभी तो किसी से नहीं कर रहा, बट इजी काम मतलब इजी हो जाए,
you'll get an
लाइक
answer.
um
फ्रेम वगैरह जल्दी हो जाए थोड़ा ऐसा.
See,
फ्रेम.
ChatGPT is because it is like content heavy ना यार. तुम रिसर्च करते हो उसको
hmm.
नोट डाउन करना उसको डिटेल वे में बताना. ChatGPT is a way to do. अगर तुम UX स्क्रीन डिजाइन कर रहे हो, Figma is like really good for screen designing. That is the best. Thus there are, I think it was
Yeah,
UI
also
is
if you
art.
want to like
UI
make
is art.
easy making screens on Figma just announced like pre-made components, pre-made screens as well on their site. So you can just use them and like
Yeah,
modify
yeah.
those according to your brand guidelines, whatever they are. You can do that as well.
ठीक है. Saksham, do you have any question? And Devansh,
Um,
if you have any question, they're typing. Are
just
you
put
guys
in the
there?
comment if you have any question, yes or no. Roadmap to follow.
I want something like a roadmap to follow. Roadmap. See, we can give you a roadmap. I told you that you have to do your own research, right? Whatever I have presented today or whatever we'll be saying is just an addition to your main thing. There is no set roadmap for anything. Understand? वो स्कूल तक ही होता था. इतने grades आने और next class में हो जाओगे. Understand? You can reach out to me or Ajit or whoever senior designers are there, right? You can reach out to us on LinkedIn. You can have a session with us. You can ask questions. But you have to design your journey your own in your own sense.
There is a website called Mobin. I didn't remember कि है ना, right? Yeah. So every like
Yeah.
famous application design was there to you can like get a inspiration for that from there. Like Uber का आपको वहाँ मिल जाएगा, Swiggy, Zomato, सबके डिजाइन आपको स्क्रीन वहाँ पे मिल जाएंगे easily available.
Could you recommend some book to develop negotiation skills and communication skills and feedback? Things like that. Hmm. Give me a second. I've saved a lot of books. I've not been able to read. It's like I think they should. If you guys can, I would recommend this particular book. It's not design related, but it should give you a good idea as to how to lead in things. I'd be surprised if you any one of you know this book or this guy.
No, 12.
Yeah, and
100 million of us.
this is one. I've not been able to read this, but pretty sure that it's good. Hmm. Yeah, विके लिए अपन विके लिए इतना काफी मेरे पास but वो
Yeah,
different genre altogether. See, like an artist, if you want to understand AI and what is going to happen, you want to be. This was written by an ex CX CPO of Google. Super cool. मैंने 2 घंटे का podcast सुना था इनका and he was like super cool person. He predicted everything that is happening right now. So I was pretty fun. Yeah,
yeah.
these are some good
Thanks a
reads.
lot for sharing these books, Ansh.
Those
So I hope like everyone's question
always.
is being answered, right? Devansh, do you have any question? Yeah, okay. So I don't think he has. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. Dinner time, song on public demand.
Yeah, if I was
Yeah,
prepared,
we
I would
would
have
have a
come with
like
the
a
song. Like अभी
different
मेरे खाना बड़ी
sometime
flash
a
है,
different session
तो
for
मुझे
the
काम
song.
कर. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would love
we
to.
would be
I would
yeah
love to. I
we
would
can
love to.
like
But
do
अभी
a
ना
collab
next
then.
time मैं prepared होऊंगा. Promise.
Okay, great. So
Done, done,
thank
done,
you
done, done.
for like giving the presentation, Ansh.
Good.
It would be very great to have you. Very honored to have you. Like they were very Shivani. Shivani, do you have any question?
Same, same, same.
Okay.
I think bye mistake हो
So
गया.
yeah, thank you for having thank you for sharing your expertise and knowledge with us. And it would like very great session. I was not like expecting that much actually. It was a very interactive session. Like people like putting comments and like asking questions, right? So that's a very good sessions. And yeah, thank you for being there. And I hope to like such more sessions in the future. And
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to. Like, there's nothing like
yeah,
better than
definitely,
helping people like who are just starting out. Like, this is
definitely.
yeah, this is one of the best things. So out of passion, I would love to do it. So if you guys like the session or like if
Yeah,
you want to have session on one particular thing,
like we can do a
branding,
poll
even
next time,
freelancing
like
is related, I would love to
what
do it.
people love to have. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Also,
yeah,
I can ask some few students if
yeah.
they want to uh, do it again because they are not able to come there because of their exams. So we would like I would like to uh, answer about their like
Yeah.
opinion if they are interested again. So yeah, we would have the event again. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ansh.
Good.
Let's take a
Thank you so much,
screenshot.
guys.
Everyone just left. I told it. I will. Yeah, six people work. Shibani, Divan, do you have your
It's
camera
okay, 6 people
working?
work.
Divansh just came out of
I
the
think
jungle.
Shivani was outside or someone else was outside. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we will just take a screenshot to put on the social media.
Shivani, if you can turn on the camera, that
And
will be
if you're
great.
not comfortable with it, it is perfectly fine.
Who is that? It was really great talking to you guys. Like, मुझे intimate sessions are much better. But yeah, like this was like one of the things which I was a little like wary about कि किस तरह का session होगा, because I have not done this like ever. But
Yeah,
I was like कि
engagement
एक घंटे तक
is,
क्या
yeah,
बोलता रहूंगा without any
definitely
conversation. But engagement is much better for me. Yeah, this
right, right.
engagement, like I love this thing जहाँ पर engagement हो
So
रही है.
yeah,
I'm able to see
I
people.
just forgot
That
it
helps.
was on record, so we just have a screenshot. I will just find the perfect photograph for everyone for from it. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for having. Thank you for your
Great, great,
time.
great.
It is
Good.
like time to have a dinner. We cannot provide you the dinner, but yeah, you can have your dinner now. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So bye everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Same, same.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Shivani. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys.